This is my life now. For, well, probably the last 2 years. But the last year I've learned to cope a lot and make the best of things. This is one of the places where I live. I live in my van and I move around, and I'm okay with it. I like moving around and not being permanent. But this is where I come for my greenery, I guess, to get away from the city. I am in back of a parking lot. This is the back of a grocery store complex. On the other side of this wall is the shopping complex. But you couldn't tell from back here. I have found a quiet spot. This is sort of the green space between the shopping complex and straight ahead over there, where the camera is facing right now, is residential houses. I don't know how far away they are. Maybe a football field, 2 football fields away, to give you an idea. If you had a really good baseball arm, you could bat a baseball bat and probably hit one of the houses. That just gives you an idea. I hear them when people are out on their decks. I can hear people mowing lawns. But the green space looks great. And I do hear birds. I see butterflies. So it's part of my calming from the day-to-day rigors. But this is where I come. And where I'm sitting right now to have my tea, my lunch, right there. I bring my trusty little stool so I can just sit anywhere. And I am getting ready to have my first meal snack of the day. It's the weekend. I'm not at work, so I'm having something a little bit to eat before I go to the church for the soup kitchen this afternoon for supper. Because, well, things are so tight, just the dollar bill hurts and screams. There is just not enough money to pay for everything, even when you work full time. I worked 60 hours this week. Usually I work 50 hours. I will probably work 60 hours next week. I'm exhausted by the time I get home. The weekends are the only time that I actually get to sleep in until I find a part-time job, possibly. I'm considering that to supplement my income, because working at 60 hours a week at $17.50 an hour, I do not have enough money to afford an apartment and pay bills. I am struggling as it is. But I wanted to give you a start of this is my life. And this, I plan to document life. This is not just me, by the way. This is everybody. We're all in the same boat. I am not a unique situation. There is a whole community way, way up that way, past when I've gone for a walk. There is a tent, a small tent encampment. Actually, they're not even tents. They look like tarps. I figure there's probably about 4 or 5 of them built together. I don't know how many. I suspect there's 4 to 6 people living up there. There was another tarp tent encampment with a fire pit just a little closer here. The management of the building kicked everybody out because, well, the people that are up there are actually drug addicts. Not everybody is drug addicts. They are on meth and I suspect crack. And when you see all the liquor they drink, and it is garbage filled. You can always tell the difference between the drug addicts and the normal working people that are out on the street, because the normal working people are not on the drugs and they clean up after themselves. The drug addicts have all the garbage strewn everywhere. There is blankets, there's blankets, comforters outside. They've got a hanging line. It looks like the movies where they show hillbillies, like Deliverance kind of thing, that you're up in the middle of nowhere. That's what some of the drug addicted encampments look like to me, because it's basically, you see the garbage thrown around and everything. And actually, I'm pretty sure the hillbillies are probably cleaner than these people. That's actually an insult to hillbillies, because most of the hillbillies are just doing their thing and they're just poor. These guys are just drug addicts, and it's filthy. Anyways, I will show that a little later today. I will go and walk up there. I only have sandals on right now, and there are ticks everywhere in Nova Scotia. So I am going to put my boots on, so when I run through that brush up ahead there, yeah, all that lower brush, I do not want to get a tick on me, so I am going to wear the proper footwear, and I will film some of this stuff. And anyways, I just want to document and give people an actual idea of what life is like now for an average person in this province, particularly this city, the city of Halifax and Dartmouth. This is not unique. This is life for not just me, most people. A lot of the people are living paycheck to paycheck, whether they have an apartment or not. And this is just life, the high cost of living. I will get into that with this documentary kind of series as I go through, documenting the cost of food. Our grandparents would literally drop dead of a heart attack with the prices, because I am in my 50s and I can't believe how high some of these prices are. I literally go to the grocery store and I do not buy stuff because I'm like, it'll be a cold day in hell before I pay that kind of money for what they're trying to offer. I just won't do it. Besides not being able to afford it, it will be a cold day in hell before I pay for the garbage quality, even, for what they're charging. Basically, greed has run rampant. It is everywhere, and it is nothing but greed. And it is the greed of the corporations, the politicians, all of those type higher-ups, business owners, and it is off the backs of Canadians, regular, hardworking people that are making, that income gap they talk about is very real. And, Superstore should rename its store to I hate this store. I hate this effing store, because that's what I say every time I walk into this store. I hate this effing store. Every time I walk into it, I give them the least amount of business that I possibly can, because I'm just tired. The only way you can do anything is to not shop there and have their profits go down. That is your only option. Politicians do not listen. No one listens. They're all on it together, and we have nothing, or very little, on the way to nothing. So I try to budget as well as I can, spend the least amount of money while still feeding myself and supplementing, and I refuse to give Superstore or Sobeys any more money than I have to, Tim Hortons included, and I will buy anything I need elsewhere, so that I only go to Superstore to buy stuff that I cannot purchase anywhere else. That's where I'm at. I hate that store. I really do. I hate that store. They rip people off like you wouldn't believe. And every time I walk into that store, I feel like a criminal. I feel like cattle. And I will get into that with another video. But basically, they herd us in like cattle, and the Superstore treats all of their customers like criminals, because theft is so rampant, and it's also not prosecuted by the police anymore. Another episode. Anyways, that is it for now. I am not going to put my face on screen for the moment because I want to document it. You will just hear a voice. Quite honestly, I don't trust the internet. I don't trust the government. I don't want my face on there because I am concerned that I will end up being targeted for just documenting what is going on. So you will hear my voice, but you will not see my face. Not at this time. Not that I'm hiding. Life is hard enough for me right now, as well as average people, that I just don't need the extra grief when I'm just trying to survive. Again, all stories for another time that I will tell you all about as I keep posting. But this is to basically inform people so they can see what's actually going on the ground level, most people drive to their work every day in cars, and because you're driving and paying attention to driving, you don't see. You have tunnel vision. You're on your way to work, you're on your way to something else, and then you don't see. No one walks anymore, so you don't see what's all around you going on. I will take you through the walk of what's actually going on the ground, and you will be very surprised, if you even believe me. Yeah, lots of stories, but this is the first one, and I will keep posting. It will only be on weekends because I work all week, 12 plus hours from Monday to Friday, and barely get enough sleep, so I just really don't have time. And it will be weekend postings, but I will post as much as I can on those weekends. And as I see people, I'm hoping that I will be able to get interviews with people that want to speak on camera so they can tell their stories. So if you don't believe me, just listen to their story, because all of these people have stories. And you know, this whole thing is a lot of time no fault of what anybody has done. You can now do everything right and still be homeless and still be hungry. It's just the way it is. It's been designed that way. Inflation, all that. Anyways, I'm going to stop for now. More to come. Have a great day and be happy. You know, with all of this, no matter what's going on, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I'm the happiest I've been since I was a kid. So even though all of this is, I still have some shelter in a vehicle. I'm not open to the elements. My belly is full. I have food. I do get sleep on the weekend, and I'm happy, and they can't take that away from me. So I'm all good. I just want people to have a peek inside of what life is like for the other side, that is growing each and every day. All right. Stay happy. Be safe. Be fed. Be nice. Be kinder. Try not to hate so much. I see a lot of that out there. All right. Enough for now.